Congratulations to all of you. Judge DuBose, am I saying your name right?
That's correct, Senator.
Okay. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to be direct. I think most of my questions are designed to be yes or no. Are you still a Marxist?
Thank you for the question, Senator.
You don't have to thank me. We'll say you are welcome.
I am not, nor have ever been a Marxist.
Well, you gave an interview in 2000 to the feminist press. In fact, you didn't turn it over to us. We had to ask for it. We found it on our own. And you did then turn it over to us. And this is what you were describing your time working in a coffee shop. You said, quote, the kids would come into the cafe all the time. We'd talk about what they're doing. We'd talk about their classes. And I was in my Marxist phase. So you used to be a Marxist, but you're not now?
No, Senator, if I may, the context of the first of that interview, I had no idea that that interview was something that was going to be published. I did an interview with the
Did you mean what you said, whether it was published or not, or whether we'd find it? Trying to understand what you believe. You said I was in my Marxist phase.
Thank you, Senator.
Still in your Marxist phase, or was that in the past?
No, Senator, if I may explain.
Sure.
I was a political science major. When I graduated from college, I immersed myself in a ton of political theory. I read Hobbes, I read Locke, I read Rousseau, I read Marx. I went through a phase where I was into Eastern religion, where I read the Tao Te Ching, the Analects of Confucius. So I suspect, and I don't know that quote with the article, I don't know if she was referring to what I was studying at the time, but as a political science major and as a theorist and someone who was considering teaching a course in political theory, I immersed myself in those things.
But she didn't refer to anything. She, meaning, I assume you're referring to the reporter who interviewed you. These are your words, and you didn't say I'm in my Hobbes phase. You didn't say, second, I'm in my Locke phase. You didn't say I'm in my Rousseau phase. You said I was in my Marxist phase, and my question is real simple. Are you still a Marxist?
Senator, I've never been a Marxist, and I'm not a Marxist today.
Okay. All right. Have you ever served as lead counsel in a federal bench trial?
No, Senator. With my experience as both a state prosecutor, as an in-house counsel at Schneider Electric, doing very complex compliance and regulatory work, and my work as a district court sitting judge handling general jurisdiction.
Yes, ma'am. I've read your resume.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something that's sparking headlines all over Washington. A Senate Judiciary Committee hearing took a sharp turn when Senator John Kennedy dropped a question that made the entire room freeze. Are you still a Marxist? Yeah, you heard that right. The target? Judge DuBose, a nominee for the federal bench. This one got personal, intense, and more than a little awkward. Let's break it all down. It started off almost routine. Senator Kennedy greets Judge DuBose, even double-checks how to pronounce her name. Then, without missing a beat, he dives right in. Are you still a Marxist? Judge DuBose, composed but visibly caught off guard, calmly replies, I am not, nor have I ever been a Marxist. But Kennedy's not letting go that easy.
Counsel at Schneider Electric, doing very complex compliance and regulatory work, and my work as a district court sitting judge handling general jurisdiction.
Yes, ma'am. I've read your resume. I just want to get through these questions. Have you ever served as lead counsel in a federal jury trial?
No, Senator, I have not.
Okay. Have you ever attended a federal jury trial and
No,
watched
Senator.
it live?
No, Senator.
Have you ever watched a federal jury trial on TV?
I don't believe that federal trials are televised, so no, I have not, Senator.
Have you ever watched any trial on television?
Senator, I handle and preside over trials every single day as a state district court judge. We follow the rules of evidence, criminal procedure, civil procedure. So I feel that with my experience, that I am well suited and capable to make the transition from our state district court to our U.S. district court.
Okay. When you were practicing law, did you ever draft a motion or a brief applying the federal rules of evidence?
No, Senator. As a state prosecutor...
I'm sorry, you said what?
I did no, Senator.
No, okay. When you were practicing law, did you ever draft a motion or a brief applying the federal rules of civil procedure?
Well, I believe that there were times at Schneider Electric giving advice to business units regarding the federal acquisition regulations, that I would draft briefs to give them counsel as to how to be compliant with the federal rules. So in that respect, the answer would be yes.
Okay. What's an interpleader action?
Interpleader action is a third party who's going to intervene in a civil suit. They're not a primary party.
Okay.
In the end, Judge Dubose reiterates she had no idea the interview would be published, never saw the article, and that the comment was a reflection of youthful curiosity, not ideology. She stands by her record and firmly denies ever being a Marxist. But the exchange leaves a lingering question. Should academic curiosity from decades ago define someone's judicial future? Or was this line of questioning pure political theater? So, what do you think? Was Senator Kennedy just doing his due diligence, or was this a political ambush? Should a decades-old quote matter when it comes to a federal judgeship? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more no-spin political content, and share this with someone who needs to see what's really going on in DC. Catch you in the next one.